The Houston Astros may arguably be one of baseball's most despised and hated teams across the league today. Now, it's not because of the good team that they put on the field day in and day out, but it's because of the major cheating scandal that happened within the organization over the last 4 seasons or so. It all started back in 2016 when a scheme was presented to general manager Jeff Linnell and former manager AJ Hinch. Now, at this time, we don't know who this person was that presented this scheme to them, but what we do know is that they were part of the Houston Astros organization staff. Now, it all started in 2017 when the Astros began using sign stealing methods. They came to an agreement that cheating was a way to succeed for the organization, which is obviously very illegal in Major League Baseball. Some of the schemes that they use would include using the outfield camera as pictured here below. So the camera that would be placed in the outfield would then be relayed to a monitor that was located in the Astros dugout, and that would later be relayed over to the batter, which is in the batter's box. They would film the signals of the opposing team's catchers. They would watch the feed within this dugout monitor, which is very legal to use. And so whatever pitch was coming, they would either bang a trash can, use a whistle. So for example, if like a fastball was coming, they'd bang the trash can once. If a changeup was coming, they hit it twice, and so on. They would also use whistles. So like one whistle would be a fastball, two whistles would be a slider, and so on. Different methods were also used, such as like buzzers, which were apparently located on some of the players back then. So instead of so they would use a dugout monitor, and then from there they would also use the buzzer, which was located on the players to basically tell them what pitch is coming. That's also very legal because they basically knew what pitch was coming before it was even pitched. So in the season of 2019, the Astros were eventually caught cheating for their actions. The MLB conducted an investigation and found that the Houston Astros did use cheating in order to succeed in baseball. The only punishments that were given out, which was very controversial across the sports world, was only a suspension of general manager Jeff Linnell and manager AJ Hinch. None of the players received suspensions, and their 2017 World Series title, which they won against the Los Angeles Dodgers, was also not stripped of them either. Both general manager Jeff Linnell and manager AJ Hinch were immediately fired by the Astros organization. So obviously the baseball world and the entire sports world wanted to hear what the entire Astros organization wanted to say about their entire cheating scandal when eventually they were found for cheating. So I picked the apologia theory, which is basically a theory in which a specific form of communication or behaviors is used when a crisis or accusation of wrongdoing occurs against someone. So it can be seen in everyday life, like when we are accused of cheating, accused of stealing something, or accused of anything that we don't want to admit that we're wrong to. That's when apologia can come into play. So for example, like denial or bolstering, if you want to deny that you did not do that certain action, if you want to deny that you did not steal a cookie from the cookie jar, you can go for it and hope that it works out in your favor. This is also exactly what the Houston Astros players and owners used to eventually avoid the entire cheating scandal and to try and move on from it. Forms of denial and bolstering were a part of the apologia model, and we're seeing the most throughout the Astros organization when handling this cheating scandal. Some of the players said, no, I was not accused of using a buzzer, or a buzzer was not located on me, or no, I was not the one that banged the trash can. Astros owner Jim Crane, who is the main owner of the Astros, eventually denied that their cheating scandal did not impact the game of baseball. It also claims that they should also keep the World Series title because it was earned that season when the Astros were found guilty of cheating during the 2017 playoffs. So you can see how bad that looks, not only for Jim Crane, but the entire Astros organization for claiming that it did not leave an impact on the game of baseball altogether, when in reality they did cheat in the World Series. That's like the worst thing you can possibly do, and claiming that the World Series was earned by them during that season. That only makes things worse and adds fuel to the fire across Major League Baseball. Superstars for the Astros, Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman, also gave short 1-2 minute flat apology speeches. They basically went up there and said, I'm sorry, it was very bad what we did, and I hope we can move on from this. Nothing really of, I want to accept any punishments that were given out to me. I wish there was a punishment given out to me. But in the end, they just said, I'm sorry, and that was about it. So overall, I really feel like the Astros could have handled this situation way better. I feel like the players and owners need to be more sympathetic to Major League Baseball and opposing players, because in the end, they got a lot of criticism and a lot of hate back for what they did and how they handled it. A lot of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who they defeated in 2017, claimed that their speeches were weak, claimed that Jim Crane could have handled it way better, and also said that their World Series title should not have been earned by them. It should have been basically stripped from Major League Baseball that year. So admitting that this made an impact on the game of baseball, I feel like would have softened the wound a little bit more as well. I kind of feel like if they said like we were wrong in this, saying that cheating is never okay in anything, and they did say that to a certain degree, but they also said like um, we cheated and it was wrong, but let's move on. I feel like they could have also said, like, we cheated and we deserve the worst punishment possible for cheating because it is never okay. We have people that look up to us. We have younger people that look up to us, and to see and to be cheating in the highest league possible only makes things more worse. So we want to basically reach out to you guys and say that we're sorry and allow the MLB to like basically put more stricter punishments on them. I think if they said things like, um, we feel like these punishments were not enough, and we feel like the MLB could do more better, things such as stripping us of our World Series title. I feel like that would have been more along the lines of gaining more respect across the league. Of course, if you cheat in the Major League Baseball, it's going to leave an impact upon the game, and obviously your respect level is going to go down in many ways. But handling it better by allowing the MLB to do what they needed to do and just coming clean and being humble about what happened and going from there, I feel like would have really been more helpful for the Astros organization, because now they're suffering the consequences everywhere they go on the road. They're being called cheaters, they're getting booed, they're getting made fun of. So I believe, and also like opposing pitchers sometimes will be possibly throwing pitches at the batters intentionally when they try to not to make it look like it. But in the end, if you handle this situation the way they did, you're going to get criticism and you're going to get blasted wherever you go. So overall, thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for a great semester overall. And thank you once again to PLU and everyone for really guiding me over the last 4 years. I really appreciate it, and thank you to everyone.